Welcome to this IELTS speaking simulation test. I'm your examiner, the hero teacher. Now, in this part one, I'm going to ask you questions related to you. I'd like to move on to a topic of work. Could you please tell me what you do?
Yes, so I trained in biology at the University of Nottingham, and now I'm a language teacher, an English language teacher in Barcelona. So I'm based in Spain, and I've just started teaching English and tutoring people in improving their IELTS speaking tests and their fluent pronunciation in English.
Why did you choose to be a teacher?
Well, it's a good question. I really enjoy teaching. I've enjoyed learning massively through school and at university, and I really like the academia and imparting of knowledge, and also helping others and seeing them progress from maybe not much understanding of a certain topic, or in this case, a language, and really coming into their own, into their forte, and being a much better at a specific skill because of your teaching. And I think that's very rewarding. And I really get a lot of personal satisfaction out of helping people like that.
What professions do you think are important in the society?
Yeah, that's a hard question because I think there are a lot of important professions. I would say, well, teaching, I'm biased, but teaching is one of them. Your responsibility to cultivate the next generation of students in whatever area, so they go into the workforce, is extremely important for obvious reasons. Also, I'm a scientist as well by training, so I would say sciences, teaching people to think critically about topics and about the universe that we live in, and the way we interact. It's very important to have an objective understanding of how we figure out things in the world. And then also, of course, like economic jobs, politics. There's so many jobs that are important. And I think almost every job is very important to society.
Let's move on to the topic of traveling. Do you like traveling?
I love traveling. I love traveling. I've been very, very fortunate in my life to. Well, I have a dad who is a travel agent. So in my childhood, I've had the great fortune of going to a myriad of different places around the world. I've been very lucky, and I love seeing different people, different cultures, trying different foods, and also, of course, speaking different languages. It's amazing. So I absolutely love traveling.
Do you prefer traveling alone or with a group?
I think for me, it's definitely with a group, because when you're alone, there are some advantages to traveling by yourself. You can do what you want. You can stay where you can have downtime, or you can go out and see things if you want to. But I think in a group with friends as well, it's much more fun for me anyway. I'm quite a sociable person, and also your friend might go, "Oh, look, there's an amazing place over here that we want to try," and you might never have thought about that before. So that is a really great benefit from traveling in a group. You might do things that you otherwise wouldn't have done on your own.
What's the most memorable place that you have ever visited so far?
Tough question. Um, I think I would probably have to go with. There's been so many, but I think I would have to go with Mexico. I went to Mexico when I was about 11, 12, quite a long time ago now, and it was amazing. We stayed in a lovely resort. We were very lucky, but also we went to Tulum, Chichen Itza, which was a Mayan. I think it was Mayan. I may be wrong. Temple, and that was really amazing. And I made some great friends We swam with turtles. It was an amazing holiday. So, and I love Mexican food and the Mexican people. So I think Mexico is my answer there.
Let's talk about your childhood. Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in a small town called Abingdon in Oxfordshire in the United Kingdom. So yeah, in England.
And what's the best memory of your childhood?
The best memory of my childhood. There's been so many. I've again been very fortunate to have a lovely childhood. Or my memory of my childhood it's been really lovely. But I think that one of my favorite memories is where we had a little park by the school, the primary school that I went to when I was younger, and all my friends were kind of from the same estate, around the same area, and we always went to the park after school, played football, climbed trees, did all the stuff that kids do, went to the shops, got some stuff. It was an amazing time. When I think back on my childhood, those memories are my fondest memories. Meeting up with mates and not having a care in the world. So yeah, that park next to my school is one of my favorite memories.
Thank you. Now we are moving to part two. And in this part, I'm going to give you a topic and I want you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay.
Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you.
I'd like you to describe a gift you recently gave to someone. And your preparation time starts now. All right, remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes to talk. Don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now?
So for my sister's birthday recently, she turned 18, and I gave her a few other gifts that she asked for, like a book, for example. But I found a few months before her birthday, I found an old story, because I used to like writing stories a lot. I still do, and I found an old story, a short story that I had written based off of her when she was younger. And she was a very boisterous, bossy, assertive tomboy, basically, as a kid. She still is, but she's just older. And I found this story basically based around this character. It was set in a fantasy world called the Vast, and it just reminded me so much of her when she was younger. So I thought, oh, this would be a brilliant gift to give to her, because I don't think she'd seen it before either. So I think I just wrote it and kept it a secret. And so I edited it, I went over it, touched it up, and then I printed it out and gave it to her. And I think that was a nice surprise because it wasn't on her list, of course. And I felt very happy to share this thing that none of us had really seen before. And I think she was quite pleased with it and surprised. And I decided to give it to her because she normally writes a list, so you can always give things on the list. But I think some of the best gifts are one where you've spent time and put effort into something, and two, that something that she doesn't expect, that isn't on her list, but that she might enjoy. And so that's why I decided to give it to her, and I think it was a success. It was pleasing for me anyway, and I think she enjoyed it enjoyed it immensely. So yeah, that was a recent gift I gave to her.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, we've been talking about a gift that you recently gave someone, and I'd like to ask you one or two more general questions related to that. What's the importance of gifts?
Well, I think they're not the be all and end all, but I think they can be very important to show someone that you love them, that you care for them, and to celebrate something. Either it's their birthday, maybe a religious festival, or any festival. And I think that's nice. We are now live in a world where it's very commercial based, and gift doesn't have to be commercial. It could just be a hug, or something you've made, or showing support. So that's why I think it's very important.
Do the British people love giving gifts?
Well, we give gifts. I don't know really compared to other cultures. We give gifts for our birthdays and for Christmas mainly. And that's about it. I mean, at Easter, little kids get little Easter eggs from the Easter Bunny, which is great. So that's a kind of gift from the Easter Bunny. But we give gifts at those festivals. And I don't think we generally, at least in my family, from where I'm from, we don't give gifts elsewhere too much in terms of commercial kind of gifts. But if you're talking about other kinds, we show our love in other ways as well.
Do you think it's a good idea to give money as a gift?
I think it depends. So, absolutely, if the person asks for money, and depending on certain economic situations, it depends on the person. It can be. I think at least in probably I'm speaking from my experience. So maybe in my family or in Britain, it's maybe seen as you maybe don't know the person as well. So like if you're friends with them or your family, you to show them that you know them better and that you care for them more, I guess. Um, you maybe give something that they want or they need, or something that reminds you of them, maybe these kind of things. It's maybe a little bit more, it's seen as a better gift. But yeah, I mean, it can be definitely. Depends on the circumstance, I think.
Do you think the meaning of gift giving is the same for everyone?
No, I don't think so. It depends. I think the overall theme of gift giving is probably the same. Passing on your love and your support, and showing people you care for them. But obviously, the specific gifts is very different. I mean, for someone, it could be maybe advice, or you know, advice that someone's given to you in the past could be a massive gift that's helped you in the future, or support, or something that you really want and when you were children, like a book, or these kind of things. So I think it changes depending on nationality, culture, and age. But yeah.
Okay. Do you think people still give the same kinds of gifts today as they did in the past?
I think no. Well, it depends how far back in the past. Obviously, now we have lots more technology gifts that are given, phones, iPads, that we didn't have 50 years ago or 100 years ago. But I think that the overall theme of showing someone that you care about them, it has happened throughout our whole history almost. And but the individual specifics of the gifts do change over time, depending on what century you're from, really.
Thank you. That is the end of the speaking
Thank
test.
you very much. Cheers.